We just got one camera this time because it's just the three of us. Super casual, and
Super casual.
look. I'm normally not shoved in the corner over here. That's usually my wife's job.
Camera girl had an off night.
She had an off night, and I kind of enjoyed it over there. It was pretty nice.
Did you feel less pressure over there?
I was in the groove.
Oh, you're in your
I
zone.
was just smashing
Kinda
buttons
zen,
and just
kinda-
listening to a damn good ass singer.
Very good. This
So-
is one of the top voices in live local music, period.
Absolutely.
Much appreciated. I don't know if I deserve that much credit, but it's much appreciated. It's been fun tonight.
It's been a great night. We have thoroughly enjoyed it. This crowd that was here tonight enjoyed it. I was glad everybody showed up and kind of showed out. We were getting worried right there at the beginning. We were kind of limited on people, and then everybody started piling in, and it was great. It turned out to be a pretty decent crowd, and everybody was enjoying it. Everybody out here was talking about how good the singing was, how good everything sounded, and man, the guitar picking, your singing, everything. It was just on point tonight. It was great. We really enjoyed it.
Say something.
Something.
I
Hello, 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 hello.
I couldn't stand not hearing. It felt like me and you were like non-existent, and so
Oh,
Hola.
so none of that first stuff counted?
no, everybody else could hear it. I just couldn't hear it.
Oh.
So because
I didn't have us sent to the monitors because they didn't need to hear us. But
Okay.
now I would like to hear us because
Now.
you're so far away I couldn't
Now,
hear you.
yes. Okay, got it. Okay.
In my search to find something meaningful, I set out chasing something real, something authentic. Along the way, I've met people bold enough to follow their dreams. People like David, whose passion built barmusiclive.com. We've joined together at the Farm Lounge, where up-and-coming artists get more than a stage, they get a story. Live music, real conversations, one unfiltered experience. This is Fancy's Unfiltered meets Bar Music Live.
I'm on it.
Lindsay, can you hear us? Kristen, can you hear me?
Y'all hear me?
And I can hear you too.
Can hear you.
So again, now that we can hear me,
We can hear.
yeah, I felt like I couldn't hear at all because I couldn't because you were so far away. You're way over there. Anyway,
So
again,
far away.
I'm not used to being
from me.
stuck in the corner, and so I actually got to watch what you did from start to finish, which I normally don't do until after the fact. You looked good, you sounded good, and it was pretty awesome.
Well, thank you, sir. I hope everybody enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed up here.
Did y'all enjoy it?
Y'all been a fun crowd, I'll say that.
Interesting crowd.
Yeah,
We get some interesting crowds here.
we do-
That's how I like to say it.
We do tend to get interestingness happening at the Farm Lounge.
Interesting is fun.
Yes. Very
Yeah,
fun.
that's the new word, interestingness. It's the new that I had to remember just now.
Yeah.
Ness.
Remember when you shouldn't share, to share that interestingness.
Yeah, if you find something
Shouldn't share. Hashtag shouldn't share.
yeah. So we did coin the phrase. You haven't seen it yet because we hadn't made the T-shirts. But we always end up talking about social media and how ignorant and stupid it is, even though we all need it and we all rely on it to get your name out and our name out and everybody. And that's why we're doing it. So, yep, love you, long time. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, so social media, it's a pain in the ass. And so we were having a conversation. I don't remember who it was with one night, and it was just like this. And we ended up coining the phrase: if you sit on the shitter all the time and you're looking at stuff and you're not doing nothing except for shitting, you might as well be sharing. So, shit and share. So we got to make some T-shirts. We haven't done that yet.
That works great because usually when I promo my music on Facebook and Instagram, That's usually where it happens. So
See?
Yeah, it works. See, it's
So you're
that is-
sitting and sharing,
that's-
and you just didn't hashtag
That's
it
the
first.
office. That is the office. That's where shit happens.
All day.
We'll
every
insert
day.
some crickets later on that.
Yeah, I can put, if you'll remind me.
Yeah.
Hey, Daniel, put some crickets back in there.
Yeah.
Cut
Don't
this
forget
out,
the
put
crickets.
in. I'll remember. So how was your farm lounge experience? What'd you think?
it's been pretty amazing. I know you guys have a lot of great musicians that come out here. A lot of the folks that I follow, a lot of bands and other musicians, and it's been a pleasure, and I'm honored to be here and to get to share some of what I do. And I really appreciate you guys.
Well, see, and that's what's cool to me is because I feel the same appreciation that you took time out of your schedule to come to us, and that's kind of what makes this cool. I mean, it works for everybody. So that's
I'm thinking,
Pretty
I
damn
don't know why I got that song in my head, Standard American. You ever heard that song? Standard American?
you may
He's a
have to-
veteran,
You may have to sing
tried
it.
and true. I'm thinking of this guy because he's a veteran,
Right.
a military veteran. So that's cool. He's got his coolness.
Military veteran. Anybody? Woo woo.
Cool points.
There you go.
Cool points because of that. Excellent singer. Gets up there and picks that guitar. I mean, it was just a lot of fun. You have fun doing that, it looks like to me. It looks like you're just up there having fun. And we kind of talked about that on the last show. Having fun playing music. We have fun listening to music, but getting to get up here and just have fun playing music. I mean, what's that like, really? What's it like?
I think I've found the balance with music and the rest of my life. I moved around the country a lot. I did serve our country, and that took priority. And then, now family takes priority. There were times where I was playing 5-6 nights a week in some of the places I lived, and don't get me wrong, I loved it and loved the crowds I played for. But when it becomes a job, it's different. So now I do it enough that I'm enjoying every moment that I'm out there doing it. I'm not looking at my watch, looking at the clock, counting my time to get out of there. So when I find that balance to where I'm loving every minute of it, and tonight was no different. Everybody came out here tonight. I could tell that they were here because they love music. They were listening. They were attentive. You don't get that at every place you play. Sometimes you feel like you're background noise, and that's okay. Maybe that's what they want. But tonight, the crowd was real receptive, and I loved it.
And we've talked about that a couple times, that the crowd here is different because they're here for the music. I don't know that, of course, I may have been the only one that got teary-eyed, but if you had sang your original at a bar, I don't know that you would have got the attention that song deserved. But here, it garnered the attention that it deserved, and then it was captured to where there's other people that's going to see that, and that is important to both of us, and that's why this is so special, because there's been, you're not the first that's debuted your own artistry here. And did it seem comfortable for you to be able to do that here? And if so, that's what we're doing. That's our goal.
So I think you hit the nail on the head. I think anytime somebody comes up with something that's theirs, there's a big risk when you kind of show the world a piece of the inside of you, And I'd never written originals until probably the past year or so. I felt like I had a lot of stories that, because I was in the military, I thought, man, people aren't going to relate to what I did. But
Right.
I think I had a story that there's a lot of people that go through, a lot of families that deal with, and while mine might be a little bit different, people relate. And I think, what you said about singing that at a bar, there's a lot of songs that I love to play and sing. They're good songs, but if I play them at a bar, nobody knows them. You know, there might be one person out of 50 that recognizes it.
Right.
And you know, one thing that I feel like I always do is I usually hardly ever go in with a set list, unless it's real specific, you know, and playing for some private event where they want something special. I kind of go in there and I'm like, okay, who's in front of me? You know, how's the vibe of this crowd? And I adjust. Playing originals when you're trying to, you know, entertain a bar crowd, it's challenging. And tonight was the first night I'd ever played that in front of anybody except my wife. And there's a time and place for everything, and it felt right. So
We thank you for sharing with us. It was great.
That's
Great.
that's awesome that we've created something that I know me and you feel for here, and I know a lot of the regulars that are here every week feel that. But it's awesome for me to know that people who've never been here before, just day one, the atmosphere and the feeling that you get by being here, and what has been created here gives you the opportunity to be yourself, be authentic, and allow others to see what you've created. That's our ultimate goal in all of this, is to, at some point, how awesome would it be for you to have sang that song tonight, and through this, as it continues to grow, get the attention that it needs. And I know you didn't write that thinking, "Oh, this is going to make me X amount of dollars." But I know you as an artist, like, yeah, I don't know you. I just met you tonight. Super cool dude. But I know you as an artist, if that were to hit, the feeling of accomplishment that you would have, again, not in dollars, but the fact that you were able to write something that resonated with somebody. Not that you were getting kudos for writing it, but the feeling that you get, that you knew that what you wrote resonated with somebody, and gave them either hope or, you know, whatever the song may be that you're writing. And that to me is my ultimate goal, because there's so many of you guys and gals, not discriminate, that are super talented, that just need that one little extra bit of whatever that you may be able to get. And it's, you know, and that we've said this over and over again, success is different for everybody. So, you know, if you were able to get one or two more gigs out of it, or if you were able to touch one or two more people with your original song, and you were able to get a comment that said, "Hey, you know, that's you know, that feeling that you've accomplished something, aside from anything with money, that's what music is to me." And for you to come here tonight and feel comfortable enough to do that, that means that I think we're doing something okay. There's my Debbie Downer moment for the moment. Sorry.
Well,
I was,
and the
but
cool
it's
thing
a true
is,
story, damn it.
you know, songs like that, you know, doing those originals, that's the stuff that I think some of us thrive for. We want to hear that stuff, the originality, the creativity, the heartfeltness, sentimental value, all that kind of
musical
stuff.
gooiness that you talked about.
You know, there we are, folks. The musical gooiness. We're getting back to it.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten that, but that's it. The musical gooiness. We love it. It's part of what keeps us doing what we're doing for everybody. And a cool thing about these songs and what we're eventually going to try to do, and you don't know this probably, and some of the people who are going to be watching this don't know this yet, but a lot of these tracks that we're taking, we're going to cut those, and eventually, when we gather enough of these and we can put some together, we're creating a live local music station, and that's going to be on barmusiclive.com. So you're going to be able to click on a channel on barmusiclive.com and listen to all these live local artists and hear them performing these songs. I've had people asking me this for the longest, like, when are you going to have something where we can hear this music? They're like, well, okay, you can go hear the videos. They're like, no, I want like a channel. I was like, well, it's coming. It's coming. We got to work on it. We got to get it all put together. So we're doing these recordings, and Daniel works really hard trying to get those tracks edited and put together. And when we compile enough of them, I feel like it's enough to keep some people entertained. We're going to launch that thing. We're going to have it on the site. You'll be able to click a button, and you'll be able to hear this guy playing his music, playing his guitar, and singing. And I'm looking forward to the day when we get that going. It's going to be really cool because I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it. It's going to shine a light on your music and what you're doing and what it means to you and all that kind of stuff. All the extra
it's gonna be
musical
pretty
goodness.
So go ahead. Was you fixing to say something?
I was just gonna say it's not lost on me how much work goes into what you guys do here, and I know that you guys do promote not just here in the local area, but especially what you guys do for the local music scene. I'll say it's very appreciated. I've played music in other areas, and I've never had anybody do what you guys do here. And thank you.
We appreciate that. So shifting back over to you, sir. So I know you served in the military, and we appreciate that. If I hadn't told you yet, so does a couple of people out there. Do it one more time. Yeah. So anyway, so what? I know I stalked you on Facebook and your interwebs site yesterday, getting ready for today. So I have seen that you've traveled all over, which was military. What your site doesn't tell us is what led you to music. What was that bug that got in you that caused you to be doing this for the last, how many? 25-ish?
30, maybe 30 years.
You need to update your website. It says 25.
So you're telling me I aged since I put that up there? Okay.
So yeah, so what was it that gave you that bug? That because we've talked on every show that we've had that's a bug that doesn't go away. If you get it sticks with you. Some people it sticks with them in different ways, but those of you that it stuck with at some point that causes you to do what you're doing, if you think about it, it had to have been something that was kind of like, oh, this is it.
I think so. I'll say this: as a teenager, I had a nice stereo system in my room before I ever had a TV. So music was always just love. I was a music lover to begin with, and my tastes in different, like I say, genres or whatever, it's changed over the years. And I, my dad played guitar, and he tried to get me into it, and until I was 13, 14 years old or so. And he got me a guitar for Christmas, and I didn't really care too much about it. Took lessons. I learned a little bit. But there were some friends of his that he'd helped out when they were younger, and they were probably about 6 years older than me, and they played in a band called Chew Toy. They played all over the Southeast, back in the 90s. And they came to the house one time and played, and that was it for me. I don't know if you've heard of Will Hogue. He's got a song called "Even If It Breaks Your Heart," and he's talking about, being outside the bar because he's too young, can't get in. He's listening to music, and he's got that fever. Well, that was me as a teenager, But I would sit in with those guys at practices and stuff when they were doing little jam sessions, and they'd make me play, and I'd turn down because I didn't know what was going on. Then I'd turn up when I understood the chords, but they encouraged me a lot. And that was kind of my initial favor. I thought I was going to be a musician for my profession. Graduated high school, went to Jack State for a couple of years, 9/11 happened, and I was in the Navy less than a year later, and I was like, okay, this is taking a back seat. Music's gone, and it wasn't until I was at my second duty station that in a random event, I went to go have a beer and a steak at a little bar and grill, and I'm sitting at the bar by myself, and a couple of managers were talking kind of behind me. They were talking about some musician that was supposed to be there, and they canceled or something. And I turned around and said, "Do you guys do live music here?" And they said, "Yeah, do you do that?" I'm like, well, yeah,
Maybe.
I guess. And they're like, "Well, we'll hire you." I'm like, "Well, you never heard me. You don't know my name, nothing." And I said, "Well, okay. You come in and we'll test out a couple songs, see how you do." I said, "Well, give me like a month." I came back about a month. They set me up. I played like 2 songs, and they said, "All right, you're hired. We're booking you weekly." I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'm doing this," And I did that pretty regular out in Washington State. Then I got stationed in Japan for 4 years, and the deployment schedule out there was pretty hectic, and I backed off of it for about 10 years. Funny enough, I lived in Nashville after Japan and for 3 years, and I didn't even do it out there because sometimes you lose that fire.
Yes.
I thought you were singing country music to those Japanese people.
I didn't
did?
I didn't do it a whole lot in Japan. Didn't do a lot in Nashville. But then I got stationed in Virginia. COVID happened. Came back from 2 back-to-back deployments, and I was married at that point. And I asked my wife Olivia, like, "Hey, you good with me trying out music again?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure." I don't think she knew what she was getting into at that point, but it started slow and then it took off, and I was busy out there. And the one thing I think is I was worried about moving out of the Southeast and traveling around was, I do a lot of country now. I do a lot of different believe it or not, I could do a whole 3 or 4 hour gig and not do country. I've got enough stuff, but I like country. It suits me. I do other stuff too, but I was worried that being in other states and other places, hey, my style's not going to go over, but I was wrong. There's music lovers everywhere, and I was real fortunate to have a chance to share that with a lot of different people.
Well, and I think that goes back to I'm sure everywhere you went, just you said it yourself. It was your style, So you didn't conform to where you were going. It was still you. And I've said it repeatedly on here. Well, ever since I got in front of a camera or behind a microphone, since doing this, I think there's more and more people who are searching for that authenticness of whatever it is. And so it doesn't matter where you're at. Washington State, Japan. I hear they like karaoke over there, though. You should have got in it while you was over
They're big into karaoke.
Yeah, you should have done it while you was over there. But that's again, that goes to show that all of us for so long have worried about what other people thought. And with this, when you get to that point where you understand that this is what you want to do and it doesn't really matter, you're going to do your style wherever you go, it is kind of comforting and like, that you find people wherever it is that you go. And I made a post one time. You dropped something. Your people will find you. If you can hold out and not be worried about the likes and the shares and the whatever, that authentic crowd that follows you will be because they follow you, and they enjoy what you do, and it's not the fakeness and the whatever we said last night. People chasing the shiny thing, and I'm just
Shiny.
my precious. It's for me. That's what's awesome to me, is getting to meet you guys that are, I guess on a solid foundation of what it is that you're doing, that you're going to do no matter where you go, and have found success in it. And again, success is measured in different ways. You could be broke and have 27 cents to your name, super happy with what you're doing, and you go home, if you have one, with 27 cents. But you know what I'm getting at. Success is what you finally decide is what you want to do, and enjoy that. And so that's awesome to me that we're all sitting here doing what we're doing and enjoying it. And plus, again, if I didn't mention it, you sounded damn good.
Well, thank you, sir.
And the genuineness is cool. Even before you got started, we were talking about that, and I'm telling him, this is your show tonight. You do what you want to do, perform how you want to perform, sing how you want to sing. And you're like, oh well, that's what I'm going to do because I don't know any other way to do it. That to me that's just cool, and you can tell that when somebody is singing, when somebody's performing. Are they just being themselves, or are they maybe trying to be something else? I think you see that come out, and like so many of those songs. And I was joking that one time about that one song. Seriously, if you wouldn't have told us that was somebody else's song, if you just got up here and sang it, most of us here would have probably thought, oh wow, that's his original song. That was yours, because you just kind of owned that. You were in your element in so many of those songs that you did tonight. Just excellent performance. I'll say it again. I mean, one of the best voices in local music that I've heard, honestly. And I knew that when I heard you the first time, way back 8, 9, 10 months ago, whenever that was, over at Casey's on the Lake in Gunnersville. Just an amazing voice. I was glad to meet you then. Glad to have you here now. We're so thankful that you came out and hung out with us tonight. I mean, it's been an awesome show. Everybody here has enjoyed it.
I've enjoyed it. And the most important thing was, did you enjoy it?
This is a great place, and I'll say, if you're a musician in the area, or whatever range you would come from, you need to jump on this. This is a great experience, and if you're not a musician, or if you are, and you don't want to play, then if you're a music lover, this is where you need to come. You need to come out here and experience this. Everybody's friendly. This is a cool, relaxing place. You can bring your family, and I'm sure you got plenty of other musicians that need the opportunity to rotate through here and have the chance to be seen and heard. But if you ever start rotating back through, I'll be happy to come back again.
Oh,
Calendar's always
Thank
open,
you.
sir.
Yes, sir. Always open for you. Promise that.
Yep.
We, I get asked a lot of questions about this place because it's new. People want to know. One of the guys that was here tonight, he's told some of his friends, they're like, "Are you going back to that place again?" They're like, "Well, okay, well, tell us a little bit about it." And they want to know all these questions. I said, the best way to find out about this place is just come here. Okay, decide for yourself. If you like it, come back again. If you don't like it, don't come back again. This isn't a bar. It's not your local hangout in town, anything like that. We are about the music. That's what we created this for. We created this place for the music first, but also for people who would not want to just go hang out in a bar, but they might like to hear some live local music. And then we've got this twist of the podcast added with it. And ultimately, it's about the music for the musician, promoting them and what they're doing for all these people that do pile in the bars and the restaurants and small venues, wherever else that music is playing, that you can find on barberslive.com. But first, music first. That's the priority. We want to be about the music, and we wanted to create a place where people could come and just enjoy music, and that's what we're about. So if you're about the music, you love music, you enjoy music, you want to hear good music like what this guy did, this is the place for you. This is it. Because you don't have to fight all the noise of everything else. You just come here and hear the music and the story behind it because of Fancy's Unfiltered.
What's up, y'all? So I'm good. Y'all got anything else you want to add? Have you said everything your heart desires to say.
Hey, I just appreciate the opportunity to be here again. It's been amazing, and thank you guys so much.
Well, we appreciate you being here. We again are humbled that you feel the same way that we do, because we are appreciative of you being here. So again, that just shows that it's working. So if you've stuck around this far, we appreciate it. This has been an episode of Fancies Unfiltered at the Farm Lounge, brought to you by BarMusicLive.com. And if you are looking for something to do on a weekend or a weeknight or whenever, and you decide you want to listen to some music, BarMusicLive.com is where you need to go, and you can find just about anybody that you would like to listen to. Make sure you like and subscribe to Bar Music Live, Fancies Unfiltered, and the Farm Lounge. All of those places is where you need to make sure you hit that little follow button, because then you'll be sure to see anything and everything that happens here, and it's growing and it's getting pretty damn cool. So we appreciate you being here. We will see you on the next one.
Thank you.